All right, so let's get right into it. Picture this. Deep beneath a temple in India, there are these ancient vaults. Now, most of them have been opened, and what they found inside is, well, it's beyond belief. But one vault, just one, remains sealed shut, protected by legend, by law, and maybe even a curse. And that's the story we're diving into.
I mean, it's the kind of question that drives people crazy, right? Treasure hunters, historians, even the government. We're talking about potentially $1 trillion in gold and jewels just sitting there. So why hasn't anyone just opened it? What could possibly be so terrifying that it keeps the world's greatest treasure under lock and key? Its name is Vault B. And that's the focus of this whole investigation. And you have to understand, this isn't just a room with a locked door. It's become this symbol of a huge clash. The modern world, which wants answers and transparency, versus an ancient world that demands respect and faith. Vault B. It's the ultimate unknown.
So, how did this whole mystery even blow up into a global sensation? Well, it all goes back to this one date. On June 27, 2011, India's Supreme Court ordered a committee to open the other vaults in the temple, just to take inventory. And what they started pulling out was just staggering. Just try to wrap your head around what they found in Vault A alone. A solid gold idol of a god standing 4 feet tall, covered in gems. A throne made of pure gold. A gold chain that was 18 feet long. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you read about in storybooks, except it was all real. And remember, this was just from one of the vaults.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, you see this number? 500 kilograms. That's the weight of a single golden sheaf they found inside. That is over 1,100 pounds in one object, made of solid gold. It's just insane. So yeah, this wasn't just a big discovery. People started calling it the largest find of gold in all of recorded history. Suddenly, this temple was world famous. And of course, all that excitement just magnified the curiosity about the one door they hadn't opened, Vault B. I mean, if the other rooms held this much treasure, what on earth could be waiting inside the final one? So, the big question became, where did all of this even come from? This isn't like some lost pirate treasure that was buried and forgotten. Oh no, this was a hoard that was built up very carefully over an incredibly long time. To understand it, the investigation had to look back, way back into the past. And the story of this treasure goes back for millennia. We're talking ancient texts from 500 BC that call this place a golden temple. For hundreds and hundreds of years after that, all these powerful dynasties, the Cheras, the Pandyas, you name it, they all donated massive amounts of gold to the temple. And then later on, the Travancore royals not only kept the tradition going, but also started using the vaults as a super secure bank for the kingdom's wealth. And here's the amazing part. We actually have records of this stuff. They're called Kajin leaf records. Think of them as ancient accounting books, written on palm leaves, that are supposed to detail every single donation made over the centuries. But, and this is another crazy layer to the mystery, there are over 3,000 bundles of these records, and almost none of them have ever been properly translated or studied. The complete history, the full story of all that treasure, is probably just sitting right there, in plain sight, but we can't read it yet. Which brings us right back to that big, burning question. You've got potentially $1 trillion, priceless history, all on the line. So why is Vault B still sealed? Well, this is where the story shifts from being a treasure hunt to a full-blown clash of beliefs. They did try to open it once. Back in 2011, that committee got through an outer metal gate and then a heavy wooden door. But then they came up against a final door made of solid iron. It seemed to be jammed, and before they could figure out how to force it open, the whole operation was shut down. Just stopped cold. Why? What happened? The Travancore royal family, the temple's traditional caretakers, they stepped in. They insisted on performing this sacred ritual. It's basically a complex ceremony that's meant to communicate directly with the temple's god to understand its divine will. And the message they got back from that ritual? It was totally unambiguous, and frankly, pretty terrifying. The warning was that opening Vault B would be a huge mistake, a violation of the deity's will, and that it could bring about disaster. And that divine warning, that became the main argument for keeping the vault sealed. Forever. And right here, you can see the stalemate perfectly.
On one side, you have people demanding transparency, filing legal challenges, and just this intense curiosity from all over the world. But on the other side, you have the royal family's ancient rights, that sacred warning, and this deeply held belief that some doors are just not meant to be opened by humans. This whole debate actually went all the way to the Supreme Court of India, and in 2020, they made a massive ruling. They sided with the royal family, giving them back the right to manage the temple. The court pretty much said that in this specific case, tradition and faith carry some serious weight.
But don't think it's over, because it's not. The debate is still raging. In fact, just recently, one of the temple's administrators suggested that it was time to finally make a decision about Vault B, one way or the other, and he was shot down immediately. The response was that nothing could happen without the temple's chief priest giving the okay. So, the stalemate, it just continues.
And so that leaves all of us with this huge unresolved question. It's a real dilemma, you know? Do we push forward, satisfy our curiosity, and maybe uncover a treasure that could rewrite history? Or do we respect a belief system that's thousands of years old and just leave it alone? Faith or fortune?
Because in the end, that sealed door of Vault B, it's guarding a lot more than just gold. It's guarding a whole system of belief. And whether it's ever opened or not, its existence is this powerful reminder, isn't it? It's a reminder that sometimes, and especially in a place like India, faith can be a treasure far more valuable than anything you could ever lock in